Hello, in this video I will cover 5 quick TF2 tips for the Engineer, Engineer being the class that I main in casual and competitive, and these are the 5 points I try and keep in mind all the time whilst playing Engineer. Number 1. When running either mini or normal sentry guns, if you see an enemy medic pop Uber, then just pull out your Wrangler to shield your sentry straight away. The Wrangler will absorb 66% of the damage, which means that a level 3 sentry will gain a bonus of 432 points of health and an extra 200 points of health if you're running mini sentries. This also means that you can reuse the sentry to kill the other classes that aren't being supported by the medic. Number 2. Change your loadouts frequently. I do it myself, but it's a habit you gotta break. You'll be playing some sweet ass casual running level 3s, Rescue Ranger, Wrangler and Stock Wrench. Enemy pushes back, but you don't use your Wrangler because you aren't comfortable with using it, you didn't think of using it, or you just don't like it that much. If you have a weapon that you aren't using, usually your secondary slot, then use something you're more comfortable with or more appropriate for the situation, such as the pistol or the short circuit. I personally will swap out the pistol, the short circuit and the Wrangler all the time, especially if I'm running Gunslinger. My primary will also make a big part of the decision, such as if I'm using the Rescue Ranger, sometimes I'll use pistol if I think I'll need a secondary, but I'd never mix the Widowmaker with the short circuit, especially if I'm running minis. It's just about analysing the situation and seeing what would be best for you and for your team, and based on maps and how the enemy team is playing. Number 3. Build everything. I know, perfectly common sense, but you see it all the time where the engineers at the start of a game will build a teleporter entrance and you will never see it connected to an exit, or an engineer running all over the place looking for metal. Just get a dispenser up in a spot that's convenient for you and your teammates, even if that means only having a level 2 sentry for a little bit longer than usual. Aim to get teleporter exits down as soon as possible. It's only 50 metal, and even if it's not a mental distance away from your spawn, it'll still cover distance that makes a massive impact to your team's ability to push up. Number 4. If a sentry is down or a little bit further back, that's saying it's yours, and not really facing any fire at a time, then help out any other engineers on your team, even if that's just by firing some Rescue Ranger shots at their sentry. If they can dish out more damage, the enemy, or even just hold them back for a little bit longer before spawning teammates are back, then it makes a massive difference to the game. You've done it yourself where you get backstabbed, everything gets sapped, and you're like, shit, this is a mess. Boom, a teammate engineer is there but ignores all of your gear and carries on upgrading his teleporter. Be the better engineer and just help your fellow Engies out. Number 5. Don't be afraid to use your primary weapon to fight off players, but don't overextend. You see it a lot with engineers, their stuff will get destroyed, they'll see the guy that's been dominating them all game and they'll just go and chase them down with a shotgun. This can be fine, it's about knowing when. If you watch any of my live streams or gameplays where I play engineer, you'll see that I fire Rescue Ranger shots down choke points all of the time. Or if I see a spy, I'll shoot them, or even some scouts I'll shoot. Just don't be more than 7 seconds away from your equipment. Would be a golden rule, even if you just need to be a little bit more careful. You want to be able to support your equipment, but be aggressive enough to make enemy players second guess their approach to you. Just essentially just don't be too far away, but don't be afraid to go and put a little bit of damage out. It'll stop people just pushing out onto you all at the same time because they're a little bit dubious about coming out. That does it for my 5 most useful engineer tips for TF2. Thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think about it in the comments down below, and maybe consider liking the video and subscribing. I upload weekly TF2 content and live stream on most days. This week's subscriber shout out goes to Junus. Thank you for joining us. Consider checking out my Twitter at jcaliber, my Twitch at twitch.tv/jcaliber, and links to my Discord and other platforms are in the description below. Adios.